WrestleMania 41 is right around the corner, and where is your hype level at? Pre-Elimination Chamber, it was kind of low. Post-Elimination Chamber, very, very high. But today I want to look at the overall card of WrestleMania 41, and while not every match has its own graphic and is set in stone, I'm pretty confident that I've got a list here of what's going to be the WrestleMania card. We're going to start off, and then we're going to talk about our hype for each one, and then WrestleMania as a whole as we travel down this path to WrestleMania. That's right, I said path. I meant to say road, but I'm just going to go with it. Okay, so let's look at one of the first matches. Let's just start off with the match that everybody's kind of like, that's got the internet divided. Gunther versus Jey Uso. Where is our hype at? Now, I did a video yesterday on how we could make that hype into a 5 level, because I do feel that this storyline has become lackluster. Now, it did have one of the longest builds, and I think that did hurt it, because it's been since Royal Rumble, February 1st, and it had to make it all the way to April 19th/20th, and that's a long time. That's a long time to keep something super hot, and I did it, though, on my video yesterday, but where we're at right now with WWE programming, I love both characters, but I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 5 chops, that's our rating system, 1 to 5 chops, my hype level for that match, unfortunately, is a 2 right now. It started off at a 4, though. I actually was very excited for this match, even though they had fought 3 times last year. I didn't care, because Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre had fought 3 times the previous year during the WrestleMania 40 season, so I was okay with that. I thought they were going to give us something new. Gunther started off by saying, I'm going to make your life miserable for the next 10 weeks.
With WrestleMania being the most horrible display of violence this business has ever seen.
And honestly, all he's done was put him in sleeper holds and fought the Alpha Academy while Jay fights the A-Town Down Under. R.I.P. Austin Theory's career. That's a whole side note. But yeah, right now, I'm not feeling it. They still got time. We're talking right now, and I'm not writing any of these programs off. If my hype level is low, there's still time to get it higher. Each week, all it takes is one good promo for everything to turn around. I mean, that's what happened with Elimination Chamber and the main event scene. The Cody main event, that was a hype level of maybe 3 or 4, but now now it's a 5. Now it's a 5, but we'll talk about that at the end. So yeah, Gunther, Jay, I'm giving it 2 chops on the hype-o-meter. Next up, Jade Cargill and Naomi. I definitely see this happening here, and I'm very excited about this match. And what I like about this match is there's no title on the line. The women actually having a storyline that can just be a match in and of itself, and it doesn't need to be like, I just want your title, and that's why I don't like you. Nope, the women have evolved into just not liking each other for the sake of not liking each other, and that's a good thing. So I'm very hyped for this, because I have not become one of the Jade Cargill haters out there. I actually still really enjoy her presence and everything. I know there's backstage stuff happening, but I'm not going to read into that until I know for a fact. Until I know for a fact there's stuff, I'm not going to read into it, so I'm just going to go on what I see on screen. And Jade Cargill, really like her character, and Naomi, really enjoyed her crashing out on Bianca.
The truth is, I wish I would have pushed her harder. I should have pushed her sooner.
So I'm hyped for this. I'm going to say 3.5 hypes for this match right here. I do expect Jade to win, but I'm hoping that Naomi really makes this match competitive, and this is a showcase for her new heel persona. And just because there's no title on the line for Naomi and Jade Cargill doesn't mean there's not a title on the line currently for the Wrestlechop champion. How do you become Wrestlechop champion? Well, all you gotta do is comment below. At 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to figure out who the champion is and mail it to you. I'll do a live stream, pick the winner, did it already two times. I've given away a belt so far. Every 10,000 I give away a belt, so 20,000 is the next mark. Again, though, you got to comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification. Ding, 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 ding. And maybe a thumbs up if you are so kind. You can win the $1 million belt right here. I've got other belts as well, though, so if you do not have a price, well, then I have other titles in case you want those. But please, please, please help me quit the day job by engaging on this channel. You can see, go look at my history on this channel. You'll see that I produce videos probably 5 to 7 days a week. So help me out, quit the day job, and in the process, win a replica title from WWE. All right, so next match. Next up, we have Randy Orton and KO. This match, just on paper, automatically gets a 3. Just those two, you almost don't even need a storyline to be like, wow, those two are about to fight. And yeah, but they do have a storyline, so that instantly elevates it somewhat. But on a scale of 1 to 5 chop, I feel their storyline needs to be heated up a little bit. Last SmackDown, they were kind of like, we saw KO for just a second. He was trying to get involved, but didn't. I don't want to see little interactions between Randy and KO. I either want to see big, beefy, meaty, juicy interactions, or just keep them apart. We could have KO in a car, maybe for 2 weeks, doing his little car interview, saying, I'm not going into the arena, because he's afraid, and he keeps doing these interviews, and then 1 week, maybe at week 3, we have Randy Orton just T-bone his car with just a big old truck, and yeah, that would be cool. But where we're at right now, the Elimination Chamber angle, though, where he almost punt kicked him.
Going for the pump and intercepted. That's Kevin Owens.
That almost punt kick, instantly 3.5, and yeah, I can see it even getting better and better. So on the hype-o-meter of this match, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4. I'm actually really enjoying this face run of Randy Orton, surprisingly, because I didn't like it at first, but I have started to really enjoy Randy Orton as a face lately, and Kevin Owens is really good, so I'm at a 4, and I could definitely see by the time WrestleMania hits that my hype level is like at a 4.4, 4.5 on this match, so it's getting more and more as each week passes. Then we go to a maybe match. Okay, this match, I'm not 100% sure if we're going to see Roxanne Perez versus Bayley. If they don't want to have it at WrestleMania, if they got too much going on, they can always do it at Stand and Deliver. Stand and Deliver is NXT's WrestleMania, and they do that, I believe, on Friday night or Saturday afternoon. They could definitely happen there, but Bayley is, she's pretty much a locker room leader, all-timer of the female division, so I could see them trying to get it on the card here. This could steal the show. They are both definitely awesome characters and wrestlers. Bayley stole the show last year with Io Sky. Wherever this goes, it's going to steal the show. I will tell you, though, I am not that invested in their characters right now, and I am not that invested in their storyline. I know they keep kind of crossing paths, and to be fair, I have not watched NXT, a lot of their interactions there.
Top before. We know this music. This is Roxanne Perez dressed like classic Bayley.
So I am missing parts of their storyline. That said, if this match was on WrestleMania weekend, I'm going to put it at my hype level for this would be a 2. But, and that's not to say that these aren't great wrestlers. It's just there's so much already going on at WrestleMania. I'm not really, like, if it went to Stand and Deliver, it wouldn't matter to me. Does that make sense? No shade on either of them. SmackDown Tag Team Division, I'm thinking a TLC match, or at least a ladder match, but I'm thinking TLC, and this could have, it could have so many involved. Pretty Deadly, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, the current champions, Street Profits, El Gato del Fantasma. We could even throw in Mello Don't Miz, because I don't think Mello will have a match here, but Mello Don't Miz could even be in here. This match, 5. I really like the storyline that has been going on in the SmackDown Tag Team Division. It definitely It reminds me of the Attitude Era and how so many teams were vying and just really held the tag team titles to a standard in which you haven't seen in a while. If we want a hot potato the title one more time to Pretty Deadly, but the Street Profits need to walk out of WrestleMania as champions. God, I hope they walk out as champions. I'm going to hype level this at a 5, though. There's just, you just don't know. It could go any which way, and that's very exciting to me. I just love that the SmackDown Tag Team Division actually has importance and relevancy right now. It's a 5 chop. Was that 5 chops, 6 chops? It's a 5 chop hype level. Their match. The Raw Tag Team Division, though, I'm not sure if this is going to happen. So this is another maybe match, and it's the New Day versus the War Raiders. Unfortunately, the hype for that would probably be a 2 also. I really enjoyed the New Day after they came out of, kicking out Big E.
I broke my neck! Yeah, you broke your neck. So what?
They were like... my hype level for the New Day was so high, but slowly but surely, their momentum just died. And they're getting it back, but it's been such a slow trudge through like mud that it's like I just know they can be great, but it's going to take a minute now to get them back. And I think a win over the War Raiders would be great, though. Just because my hype is a 2 for that match doesn't mean I don't want it. I want the New Day to get back on track. So let them win the titles, get back on track, and I'll just be hyped for their first defense more than I am about them actually winning. Or let them win on the Raw before. I don't know. It's a shame that someone like Kofi, who has won a world title on the WrestleMania stage, is not even promised a match. I do feel that's kind of like, I feel like, whatever that is, whatever the is, that's how I feel about Kofi not being guaranteed a spot. And even if he is, hype level 2. But let's hype it up a little bit. Let's go to a 4, maybe 4.2, 4.3 hype level 4. The phenomenal one, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Just the match itself, just the way that these two perform, it's kind of like, you have to be at a 3.5. They only put Logan Paul in stellar matches. All right, whether or not you like him as a person, a wrestler, a character, whatever the case may be, he's always going to have a good match because of how WWE treats him. He's like their star, and AJ Styles is always going to have a good match. The dude pulled like a 4.8 star classic out of Shane McMahon. No shade to Shane. Shane is actually pretty good, surprisingly. And AJ versus Logan Paul, instantly 4.2. But I've heard AJ Styles start saying things like,
do you respect Logan Paul?
We, like I said, had to pay our dues. Had to sacrifice so much. And then there's a guy that thinks he can just walk into our ring, do whatever he wants, say whatever he wants.
So I'm putting this feud right here, this matchup, at a 4.5 with the hopes that AJ really brings some heat out of this, where he doesn't just say, Logan Paul, you're just a flash in the pan. No, he says, Logan Paul, I do respect what you are right now, but I still think it's unfair because I have so many friends on the indies right now trying to make a living. If we can tap into AJ's like TNA, New Japan, on the indie scene kind of mentality against Logan Paul, someone who just walked in and was handed everything, then I think this could be an all-timer. 4.5 is where I'm at, but if they tap into that, I'll probably be at a 5 by the time WrestleMania comes. Now we go to Charlotte and Tiffany. I believe both characters are awesome and amazing. I actually don't hate Charlotte Flair when she's a heel. I only hate her when she's a babyface, but right now she's a heel. I think she is great. However, their storyline, not so much. I think Charlotte is actually doing a really good job in the storyline. I liked when Charlotte put her chair down.
Wake up, Tiffy. It's still Tiffy time.
Be very condescending to her. And even this week, though, it did kind of build up a little in that Tiffany, really brought it to Charlotte Flair in a pull-apart brawl. But for the most part, I'm not seeing the Tiffany Stratton that I fell in love with. I'm seeing a Tiffany Stratton that is like kind of trying to fight and prove herself to Charlotte, and I don't think Tiffany should be doing that. I think both of these women should be coming from a perspective of, I am the best. Whether it's I'm the best because I have proven it time and time again, or I'm the best because I'm young and hungry, I don't care. But I have not been seeing that Tiffany other than this week. So what I'll do is, because of that pull apart brawl, I'm going to give this a 2.4 on the chopometer of the hype level, and it's not because of Charlotte. Everyone's probably going to blame Charlotte on this one. No, it's actually the poor writing of Tiffany that this feud has been kind of like, eh. Now we do the Intercontinental title. I think the Intercontinental title is going to be a ladder match of some sort. It seems like
We got any dogs barking in
Braun Breaker is kind of like, his attention is all over the place because there's a lot of people trying to get that Intercontinental belt. Whether it's Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, who got Finn Balor a match, but held the Intercontinental title, looked at it in a way that was like, yeah, I want this. And then there's also Penta. So there's a four-way. You could have a fatal four-way right there. But all we got to do is instantly throw in
fella!
Sheamus. Just throw in Sheamus, because Sheamus is always looking for the Intercontinental title. And now you've got five people. Yep, that's five. You got five people who could have a stellar ladder match. We used to have a Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, but now it just could be Intercontinental title. I wish, though, I would rather Braun Breaker defend his title one-on-one, but I think Triple H is going to try to get as many people on the card as possible. Could we throw one more person in? Who would it be? Ludwig Kaiser. Ludwig's been kind of hovering, and if we don't put Ludwig in here, then he's got no place on the card. If it's a ladder match, just throw Ludwig in. He can get a spot or two. I'll just put that at hype level 5. Hype level 5, even though I'd rather it be just Braun Breaker versus one person, a ladder match with that caliber of talent, that hungry of talent, that would be an all-timer. That might be the greatest ladder match of all time. So Penta versus Braun Breaker alone, that would be a hype level 4, because I love Braun Breaker, and I would love to see what Penta can do on the big stage, and I love Penta. But if we do a ladder match, hype level 5. Hype level 5. The women's tag team division, we have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. It will be a crime if Liv Morgan is not on this card, because she held it down last year. She raised her stock. She was like a great women's champion. She was just so good. Her character work is beyond next level. Problem is, there's not much challengers for her in the way of a women's tag team. I don't think they'll call up anyone from NXT, so that kind of just leaves.
But the 6 tends to do her own thing.
Maybe Alexa Bliss, and if they do fully embrace the Wyatt 6 storyline, we could do Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Slight chance we do Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, but I'd rather it be Nikki Cross. But even that, my hype level would be pretty low. So if I have to say what my hype level would be for a tag match, 2, and that might even be stretching it. It would almost actually probably be more like a 1.8, very low. Probably the lowest of all the matches, and that's a shame because Liv Morgan has done such great work. It sucks that the timing of it all made sense when she lost her title, why she's no longer in the title picture, but the timing of it all sucks because I would rather have a higher place on the WrestleMania card. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. If you would have asked me a week ago where this would be on my hype meter, I would have said a 2, but Drew McIntyre, being the awesome MVP that Drew McIntyre is, he made it into a 3.5 on the hype meter. Drew McIntyre is just amazing. He cut one vignette promo.
I didn't realize that somebody was benefiting every single time I got screwed.
Basically saying that Damian Priest has been a vulture feeding off of his setbacks. When Punk cost him the title at WrestleMania, Damian Priest cashed in. When Punk cost him the match at Clash of the Castle, Damian Priest came in. When Punk cost him his Money in the Bank, Damian Priest came in. And I love Drew McIntyre's reasoning. I'm very excited now for this match. Is it like, I still wish that Drew was in a title match, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Drew is going to take, what did I say before? Drew is going to take chicken crap and make it into rotisserie chicken. I don't know how that became a thing, but that's a saying that I say now. And I think that, yeah, Drew 3.5, all because of Drew. All because of Drew, but whatever the case may be, that's what it is. That's my hype for this match. Then we go Bianca, Io, and Rhea Ripley. Oh man, this is a weird one. This is a really weird one. Match-wise, the talent in here, it's an automatic 4 because they're just, everyone is so good. I think though, my hype level for a Rhea versus Bianca match would have been a 5. I really think that would have been a 5. I actually like Io more than I like Rhea Ripley as a face. But I think Rhea versus Bianca, I wanted to really see that matchup right there. That just would have been so good. Io was the workhorse of last year, and she deserves this spot. So that's why I'm so conflicted, because I feel like everybody deserves this spot. Rhea is, you can't argue. You cannot argue with the pops that she gets. And Bianca is so freaking good all around. But a triple threat, I just don't really like triple threats that much. I will say this, though. There is a title on the line, so at least it makes more sense to me than the Roman, Seth, Punk triple threat. But even with the title, I'm just going to say it kind of ruins it a little for me. I really wanted Rhea and Bianca. I really wanted that matchup. And so that alone kind of brings it down a couple notches for me. But the fact that I know it's going to be so good, and if we're getting evil Rhea back, which I think we are, that actually brings it up a couple notches. Because I said I didn't like Rhea as a face, but I do like her as a heel. So if we're getting heel Rhea, all right, I'll bump it up to 4.3. This is a 4.3 on my hype meter. If it had just been Bianca and Rhea, though, it'd have been a 5. Let's go back into maybe territory here, because there's 3 people who I feel need to be on the WWE WrestleMania card, and that's Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight. Yeah, those 3, I feel like they need to be on this card. We could do just a triple threat where we have Solo and Jacob kind of crashing out before WrestleMania, or we could do just Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. A Solo Jacob only match would have been awesome a couple months ago, but where we're standing now and how they've really just dropped the ball with Solo Sikoa.
What happened last week to Tama, that was an accident. But let's keep it 100. If it wasn't an accident, then you wouldn't be standing here right now.
I'd be maybe a 2.5 if it was just those 2. Now, Jacob versus LA Knight, that I would be more interested in. I would say that would be a 3.5. But if we make it a triple threat where we can have the best of both worlds, even though I just said I'm not a big fan of triple threats, this one would make more sense to me. It seems like all the players could like hate each other and we could advance storylines. I'd probably also be a 3.8. 3.8 on the hype meter for a triple threat of Solo, LA Knight, and Jacob Fatu. But if we add 2 more people to make it, get Braun Strowman and Shinsuke Nakamura on the card, then things start to lower. I think the more people you add to this match, it's weird. It's weird. This is a weird match again. There's just a lot of weirdness going on with this WrestleMania. Not bad weird, but just, kind of like, I don't know, taking a bath in Jello weird. Why would you take a bath in Jello? Yeah, so I prefer this one. This is the only one that I prefer it to be a triple threat. Solo, Jacob, LA Knight, yeah, and that would be that. But if it was, if we added the other 2, I would drop it to a hype meter of 3, because I'd be like, we're not really spotlighting Jacob and LA Knight as much as we should. I'll throw in one more maybe match, and that's going to be Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. It seems like Sami Zayn actually might not get a WrestleMania this year. He got beaten up and taken out by KO, but it's just crazy that he would miss, being that he main evented WrestleMania 39, and he had a, he toppled Gunther last year for his Intercontinental historic title reign of 666 days. So for him to just be completely off Mania seems crazy, but as of right now, the only placement on the card I could see him
and recognize that there is a world of opportunity right at your feet
would be Karrion Kross. That's the only one he's kind of dealt with. I'd probably put at a 3, honestly, because I really am enjoying the Karrion Kross character lately, and I wouldn't mind seeing what he could do. I wouldn't mind seeing him get a W on the grandest stage of them all for all the hard work that he has put in. I would be very much interested in more so Karrion Kross than Sami Zayn even in this matchup. Now, the more I think about it, I would really love to see Karrion Kross on the WrestleMania card, and I would be hyped for that. So, yeah, okay, next match. All right, now we're in our final 2 matches. These are your 2 main events, I believe, of Night 1, Night 2. Night 1 is going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. And this triple threat is weird. And man, I keep saying that. I think that maybe this WrestleMania is weird, but not weird in a bad way, but weird nonetheless. This is a triple threat in which I actually am going to enjoy, but I shouldn't, because there are no stakes. And when I say no stakes, I don't mean medium rare with a side of a baked potato. No, I'm talking like you're not going to be the number 1 contender. There's no title on the line. You're not going into the main event of the next night, day 2, WrestleMania. Nope, it's just a pure triple threat. I really, really wish it was just Seth and Roman. For real, that would be so awesome, so great, so beautiful. However, the fact that it's CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth freaking Rollins, how can I be mad at that? How can you not be hyped at that? I gotta give that a 5 hype, even if I don't want the match. That's crazy. At the very least, maybe a 4.99 hype? No, it's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, all their history. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, all their history. CM Punk and Roman Reigns, all their history, even though you don't know, they actually do have a lot of history with each other, and a lot of it like on radio shows blasting each other.
Punk, for instance, you probably have some kind of feelings about that guy. I know I do. Just by doing one of these things, he made my job a lot harder 5-10 years ago.
If any triple threat without any kind of stipulations could work, it's gonna be this one. And so I'm just gonna have to put this at a 5 chops, even if I don't want the match, or I want the match different. I just can't help it. Those 3 alone, the storytelling they're gonna do. It's amazing stuff right there. That is a weird matchup to me that I'm this hyped about, because almost in no world would I like a triple threat with nothing on the line. And yet, I do. And now we go to the final match of the night. Cody versus John Cena. 5. I don't even need to explain it. This would have been, I think if they were both faces, it probably would have been a 4.5, because, it's still going to be cool to see John Cena in his last match. But now that he's a heel John Cena? Oh, even if he is not the doctor of thugonomics, this is still going to be freaking good. Plus, we got The Rock's involvement. What's going to happen? Are we going to get John Cena winning the belt and spray painting it like Hulk Hogan, NWO? Probably not that far. I'm thinking we get the corporation, though. I think I could see the corporation forming, but regardless, did a video on that too if you want to see who could be in The Rock's corporation. But no, I think just John Cena winning number 17, Cody losing, The Rock just pulling the strings, being all satisfied, and I am hyped. This match alone with John Cena as a heel, that elevates WrestleMania 41 overall, because like I told you before Elimination Chamber, my hype for WrestleMania was probably a 3, maybe a 3.5, 3.2. But now with John Cena turning heel, I'm instant that main event plus all the other matches, even though some of them were just like, maybe not for me. I think overall, this WrestleMania has really jumped up in the last week or two to be a solid 4.3 hyped WrestleMania for me right now. You know what? I should have did 4.1 because it's WrestleMania 41, but I already did 4.3. And I think it could just get better. I really do. I think it could just get better. Anything 4 and above is great hype going into a WrestleMania, and I am all for this WrestleMania. I cannot wait. Please, in the comments below, tell me where you're at on the hype chop-o-meter. You got 1 to 5. Where are you at overall for WrestleMania 41? Boys, girls, have yourself a great day.